knocks that one away. Here comes Clark going the other way. Clark going behind the back. Oh, it's Boston, an and one.
Every sport has those moments, those games that leave you in shock, shaking your head thinking, what did I just witness? Well, on September 4th, 2024, Clark and Aliyah Boston delivered a performance for the ages, putting the league on notice as the Indiana Fever battled the Los Angeles Sparks. They weren't just stars on the court, they were a force to be reckoned with. Together, they powered the Indiana Fever to a stunning victory over the Sparks. While the Fever had already secured their first playoff spot in 8 years, this game was the perfect reminder of why Clark and Aliyah Boston are must-watch players. And seriously, if you're not already a fan of these two, you've been missing out on greatness.
It's a triple-double for Caitlin. What a reaction by Kelsey.
The Fever, a team with a proud history, were set to battle the Sparks, a squad loaded with firepower and standout players like Lexi Brown. The stage was set for an intense matchup, with the Sparks bringing their A-game, looking to dominate the boards and run the floor, while the Fever were ready to lock in on defense and protect their home court. Right from tip-off, you could tell this was going to be a game for the books.
He's in his second year in LA, after spending 7 years in Connecticut.
The Fever came out strong, taking an early lead and showing they meant business. But the Sparks weren't backing down, playing with relentless energy. They turned up the heat with a full court press and aggressive defense, making it clear they weren't here to just roll over.
Sparks offense just 11th in the WNBA as Odyssey Sims gets inside and finishes.
As the game picked up, Clark started to show why she's one of the best in the league. With the ball in her hands, she took control, reading the defense like a book. Dribbling through defenders with ease, she delivered a perfect pass that was extended to Aliyah Boston, who was waiting in the paint to finish the play with a smooth layup.
Mental toughness.
You're right, Pat. I mean, you look at LA's lost 7 of 8, but the one win is New York, the top team in the league.
There's Boston who gets inside and lays it in.
Moments later, Clark pulled up and nailed a clean mid-range jumper, putting some much-needed points on the board.
Clark with the hesitation. Clark gets inside and lays it in.
Even though the game was still settling in, Clark and Boston were already showing they were locked in and ready to run the show. By the end of the first quarter, the Fever held a slim lead, up 23-19, while the Sparks were bringing the heat with their energy. As the second quarter kicked off, the Sparks turned up the intensity, coming out aggressive and determined to flip the script. They took control, outscoring the Fever and grabbing the lead with their fast breaks and smart plays. For a moment, it looked like the game might slip away from Indiana.
Indiana's only got one more road game left in the entire season. Fever have just been sloppy here so far.
Well, they haven't gotten anything easy. They've had to execute in the quarter court, and now LA's starting to make shots.
But then Clark turned the game around with her court vision, dishing a dime to Boston in the paint, who finished strong at the rim to cut into the Sparks' lead, shifting the momentum back to the Fever.
They're gone. They've been gone.
Clark, good feed into Boston with deep position.
The connection between Clark and Boston kept getting stronger as the game went on. Boston stepped up, owning the paint, and with another slick assist from Clark, she finished the play, keeping the Fever right in the game.
Allowed me in there. It's always a learning laboratory when you're in the gym with these coaches in the W, because they work so hard at their schemes.
Returning the favor, Boston dished out a smooth assist to Michelle, setting her up.
The bench has 21 of their 44 points as Boston backdoor cut. It's Mitchell.
And that play has worked.
It was teamwork at its finest, and the Fever were climbing their way back up on the scoreboard. By halftime, the Sparks had outscored the Fever and taken the lead, but Clark and Aliyah Boston ensured Indiana stayed within striking distance. Clark showcased her playmaking skills with 9 points and 6 assists, while Boston dominated the paint with 14 points and 6 rebounds. Coming out of halftime, CC took over. She knocked down her first three-pointer of the game, sparking the Fever's comeback.
Clark with 9 points, 7 assists here so far. Clark crossing over and dropping a three.
Her energy was crazy. She drove to the hoop, blew past defenders, and finished with a strong layup. But before you could blink, she hit another three-pointer, making history by becoming the fastest player to hit 100 three-pointers in a season.
3 triples.
Clark trying to answer. You bet.
The crowd went crazy, her teammates were hyped, and even the Sparks could see she was the star of the game. With the game on the line, the fourth quarter was crunch time. This was Clark and Boston's moment to take over. Clark, cool and confident, worked her magic with her signature dribbles, threading a crisp pass to Boston. Boston didn't miss a beat, spinning past defenders and sinking a crucial bucket.
On here so far tonight, and his offense has been a little out of sync at times. Boston spinning inside, right around McDonald. Beautiful move.
Then came the moment Fever fans will never forget. CC dribbles near the logo with ice in her veins, took a step back and let it fly. A three-pointer so cold it felt like time stopped. The Sparks defense could only stand there and watch as the ball swished through the net.
Clark working on McDonald, who gives it a swipe. Clark, step back, hits a three.
And just when you thought CC couldn't get any more unreal, she pulled off a play that had everyone on their feet. She snatched a pass midair, took off down the court, and with Boston ahead, she casually flipped a behind-the-back pass. Boston caught it and finished it off beautifully.
5 triples. Caitlin, go ahead and shoot till your arm falls off.
And Mitchell knocks that one away. Here comes Clark going the other way. Clark going behind the back. Oh, it's Boston, an and one.
By the time the final buzzer sounded, Caitlin Clark had put on a show, racking up her second career triple-double with 24 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists. Right there with her, Aliyah Boston was a force, dropping 24 points and grabbing 14 rebounds. Together, they carried the Fever to a hard-fought 93-86 win. After the game, Caitlin Clark and Aliyah Boston sat down for the post-game interview. Still catching their breath, you could tell they were soaking in the moment. When asked about her amazing performance and getting another triple-double, Clark smiled and said,
"It's right next to the scoreboard, so I think everybody's pretty aware of what's happening. I mean, honestly, like, somebody had to get the rebound, and I was actually the closest one to the ball, so."
Aliyah Boston was all smiles and full of humor as she talked about her amazing performance that night. Sharing the moment, she said,
"Yeah, I think it's just about reading the floor and taking what the defense gives you. I feel like I just try to let the game come to me and not force it. So if it's a night where I have more assists than anything else, then that's what it's going to be. And then if it's a night where I can score the ball and get rebounds and assert myself on the boards, and that's what it's going to be. It's really just taking what they give me."
And for Coach Sides, it was a proud moment for her as she couldn't stop praising both players for their efforts. She gave a special shout out to Clark for leading the team and making sure everyone stayed locked in for the win.
"She's playing really well. She's shooting the hell out of the ball. And she's making sure she's finding those open players. She had some amazing assists tonight. Triple-double, second one for a rookie. Just really, really proud of her and her continue to keep her teammates involved, and then also just her growth. It's been great."
For the Fever, it was a big win that showed how much they've grown as a team. Boston's strength in the paint and Clark's sharp shooting make them an unstoppable duo. Together, they changed the game for the Indiana Fever. What's your favorite moment from this game? Drop it in the comments below. And hey, if you want more epic WNBA moments, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Until then, stay cool.